Hey guys, so it's the next day. I'm just gonna go check out on Mercer quick, see what's going on with the process and how far along he's gone, dropping the tank and all that. So I'm just gonna make a quick visit, check it out, and then head back home just because of everything that's been going around. So yeah, that's the plan for today. Go there, get in, get out. So let's get to it. Alright guys, so Mercer's just getting the fuel pressure regulator sorted, tightening up everything that needs to be tightening up. It's got the great Garage 16 gauge, and it's a beauty. Thank you, Rick, for this beautiful piece and everything that you supplied for the builds. So I'm gonna be heading back. I got a movie date with my little munchkins. Mercer is gonna be taking over. He's gonna record some footage on his GoPro, and then I'm gonna put it all together like I always do, make a nice video for you guys. He's gonna drop down all the knowledge on how to do this, so you guys will already know what to be doing when you want to do this setup on your D17s. And yeah, also later on, when this car is ready to get boosted, you're gonna hear it first. This white manifold that's all ready for a D17, I will be doing it in a giveaway because I'm gonna be doing the D16 Ultra Street Skunk 2 manifold on this, because more gains. So Mercer's gonna be finished tackling this, then he's gonna get to the lines and all that. He's gonna be taking care of all of that, and see me tomorrow after work. So happy Sunday, thumbs up, and be safe.
What's going on, YouTube? It's a new day here at the shop. Paul's not here today, and it's just gonna be me. We're gonna continue working on Ashley's Mugen EL. And we're gonna just basically continue with everything where we left off. And where we left off was we were talking about the fuel pump. So this is what the fuel pump sending unit looks like. Somewhat assembled. I just need to plug in this power plug here. But before I go and do so, I wanted to show you guys that this one black wire right here, the skinny one, cut that guy off, which is looking like that. That guy gets removed. Now you can go ahead and plug this into the fuel pump, which is all the way down there. What's going on? Okay. That goes in there. And once that is done, we left off last. I didn't have hose. I got the hose today. This is what it's gonna look like. When you install this guy, it sits like this inside the pump, so make sure you route the hose. We're using 5/16 fuel hose, so it is for fuel, and make sure it is for fuel. And then the clamps that we're using is these fuel injection clamps, 5/16. This is what they look like. They're way better than your ring worm or worm styled clamps. I'll show you what those look like. They look like that. Those are garbage. Don't use those. These guys here, these are garbage. Don't use those. So I mean, if that's all you have, then go ahead and use it. But if you can source these out and use these are the best. Yeah, and then route your hose this way, and that's how the pump looks completely assembled. It sits like this. Put the, just put that there. All right, so this is what the lines look like. I'll show you guys. That's what it looks like. All right. We were also missing this fuel feed fitting. I went and picked that guy up, and that is going to be a -6 2/3/8 female quick disconnect. That is that guy. So that guy got installed, and that's pretty much it for the fuel pump. Once that is completely assembled, now it is ready to be put back inside the tank. So we're gonna go and install this. Same way as just doing the reverse order of how you removed it. Be careful when installing the pump not to damage the floaty device, and clean the sending unit, make sure it's completely cleaned, and that's pretty much it, man. So alright, so after the fuel pump's been, the sending unit has been installed. Sorry for the lighting, guys, it's a little poor. We're using our GoPro, not as fancy as Paul with his fancy camera. So yes, back to this topic. After installing the sending unit, there is another modification that we have to do, and that is to the plug, because the return fitting is really close to the pump plug, or sorry, I guess the unit plug. So what we have to do is, the piece here. So we have to cut this much off the plug, the unit plug. So it's gonna look something like that. I basically removed this blue piece. I popped it out, and then I removed the gasket there. Once I did that, then I made the incision and I cut from one side to the other side. Then put the gasket back on, and then I put the blue safety clip back on, and that's it. Plug it in, and we have the clearances, the room. It's perfect. Sweet. That's what it looks like, guys. All right. And one more thing that we did was we undid the clips. These clips right here, there's 3 of them. 1, 2 on the top, 3, and we undid them. The reason why we undo them is so we can move the wires from that side, that's where they originally are, to moving them to this side here. That's it. Just pop it down, close it. Once you do that, it's no longer in the way of this fitting. And as you saw previously, it was coming on this side, and it was on the way, in the way of the fitting. So that's it. Then sending unit, make sure it's tight, is installed. Now on to, we got to drop the tank so we can do the feed supply line and the return line. I'll show you guys how to do that next. Alright everyone, so we've gone ahead and pulled down the tank. I'll show you guys briefly how quick it is to remove the tank. So in order to get to the tank, before you get to the tank, you need to remove a splash shield, which looks like this. This splash shield here, you need to remove this from the filler neck area. So there's going to be a clip here, there's going to be a clip underneath here, there's going to be another one here in the bottom, and that's, I think that's it. There's 3 of them, I believe. 1, 2, 3, 4. Sorry, 4 of them. So where's the 4th one? 1, 2, 3, 4. I don't recall where the 4th one is, guys. Sorry. Let me go and look at this. Okay, there you go. So let me look at that. So 1 clip, 2, 3, and then 4. So you remove those 4 clips. This piece comes down. You're gonna have to remove a ringworm clamp, which is one of these guys, on the filler. So this one right here. Then you're gonna have to remove the breather, and also a 3rd breather for the evap stuff. Once those are removed, then you're gonna come here to the side. I cheated because I know what I gotta do. Basically, you need to remove this guy right here, which is the evap hose. One way to get to this, you can release the two bolts that are holding the bracket, that are holding the gas tank up, the bracket. So you remove those two bolts, lower it slightly a little bit, stick your hand through, and you're going to have to compress the two white pieces. So there's going to be one on the top here and one on the bottom. Once you do that, wiggle it. It comes out. If you don't do it from the top, you can do it here from the side by wiggling it like so, and it just pops up. All right, that guy gets removed, and then there is another guy right here that gets removed. Once that guy gets removed, then the tank is basically ready to come down. You're gonna have, like I said, one bolt, two bolts, have a third bolt, and they're 14mm sockets to remove these. 2, 3, 4 bolts. 4 bolts, you stick the jack underneath the tank, or a stand, whatever you guys are, however you guys are gonna do it, and then the tank is ready to come down. I did it with a jack. There, the tank's on the ground. So that's how you remove the tank. All right, now on to the next part. So the next part, or the next part of the process, is these lines here. So you're gonna have, this is your current fuel feed line, but as you can see, that's really thin. It's a quarter socket. It's quarter line. We're not going to be using that as the feed. We're going to be using a -6 hose for the feed, and we're going to turn this guy into the evap. And our evap, which is a 5/16, and it comes all the way from the front, and it basically goes all the way around to the evap canister. We're gonna turn that line into our return. So this guy's gonna be our return, the evap line, and our original feed is now going to be turning into the evap. All right, so I'll show you guys all the stuff that we're gonna be doing and all the fittings. So bear with me, let me get to this. All right, so this is what your fuel line underneath the tank should start looking like. So our fuel feed, which is no longer our fuel feed, is now cut and connected to the existing evap hose. So we had that. Our old evap hose, I have cut it. I cleaned it up with a file. You can use sandpaper file just to clean up the edges and all the burrs. And now that's going to be our return. We're going to be using that as our return. So in order to make that into our return, we went a little fancy. We're using this part number right here from Vibrant, which is a 5/16. You guys can see that 5/16 tube to -6 male adapter, and it basically looks something like this. So it's a compression styled fitting. So I've seen a lot of people install these and they call me and they have issues. So the important part is cleaning it up and making sure that there's no burrs or any debris. Below the lines, make sure that there's no debris in the lines. And that goes for the old fuel feed. Now that is gonna be the evap line, guys, remove the freaking fuel that is currently in there. So you have to blow it, or else you will throw the evap system into into some sort of problem. So we've gone ahead and we've done that. Now to install this, this piece goes on over, and we get the compression style cone. See how nicely it fit over, and then this guy, the fitting, gets installed. Let me mount this so I can show you guys. So these fittings here, this guy's gotta be pushed in all the way until it's bottomed out against the line. Once that's done, then you can go ahead and start turning the back part of the fitting. So the back part of the fitting being turned. All right. So now that that's done, tightened it. All right. It's still loose, so it can still pop out, but I pushed it all the way. Now, the one that doesn't move is the front part. You keep the front part from moving, so apply your wrenches to hold it, and only the back one gets tightened. One. Voila, done. Secure, nice and tight. It's pretty much almost done for the fuel setup. So that's what it's gonna look like, guys. Just move this a little bit. That's what it's gonna look like. That is now our return. That is, once again, like I said, the evap stuff, and our feed is gonna be a -6 hose that we're gonna be now mounting and zip tying it to the existing fuel and brake lines running underneath the vehicle. All right, I've ran the feed line, the -6 feed line, and I made the -6 return. We're using a 45, and basically it's gonna be sitting something like this onto the tank. I gave it enough room for vibrations, wiggle room basically, and a 90 back into the tank. So this is what the setup will look like. This is our feed. It's gonna sit like this and go into our pump, our sending unit. So that's what it looks like. -6 ran, we zip tied it to the existing lines all the way down, and see, I know it's poor lighting. Give me a sec, let me go get my light. So, see, it's completely zip tied all the way. Then we fished it through underneath the, or sandwiched. Well, it's not sandwiched, there's a lot of room there. It's fed in between the subframe. You guys can see it there. And, whoops. Yeah, fed through the subframe, and it's gonna go all the way up to the fuel rail. We're gonna clean it up, zip tie it, and we'll just gonna finish up the tank, install the tank now. Once the tank is installed, I'm done with the rear, then we're gonna come back and we're gonna start talking about the next lines, the next stuff, which is going to be here with the feed line, the old feed line and the evap line. We'll talk about that soon. All right, guys. All right, after we finished up with the fuel tank install, everything's back to normal. We haven't hooked it up yet because we're not done with the lines. We're gonna probably need to blow the lines again, so I'm not hooking it up yet. Everything's back hooked up. Now, we need to put the fuel rail. In order for the fuel rail to go on, we had to make new spacers. These were the old bolts. Those no longer work, so I had to make some new ones. I made some new guys. They look like this. These are gonna be our new fuel rail spacers, and those are gonna be the bolts that are gonna hold the fuel rail down. After the fuel rail is installed, then I can mount the feed line to the fuel rail, so I afterwards can go and install the fuel filter. So we're gonna have an in and we're gonna have the out. So that's our next step, guys. After installing the fuel rail and installing the spacers that I custom made, I went ahead and installed the injector clips. I installed the injectors, then the fuel rail, then the spacers that I made, installed the injector clips. Upon doing that, I noticed that on the AEM fuel rail, the OEM holes that are on the AEM fuel rail for a fuel pressure regulator were really close to the holes on this evap solenoid. So what I did was I drilled the holes slightly a little bit bigger, one on each side, and I was able to mount it on the fuel rail for that clean look instead of it just dangling and sitting down there. So now it actually looks pretty clean. So I went ahead and installed our feed line. So there's our feed, -6 feed. This is going to be our -6 return, which is going to be going now to the fuel pressure regulator. I've already gone ahead and custom made a little bracket to mount the fuel pressure regulator. You guys can see it right there. I mounted it there. There used to be a bracket here that held on to the engine harness, but I removed that bracket, and later on I will zip tie the engine harness to something else. Fuel pressure regulator is going to be mounted here. So our return is going to go from the return of the fuel rail, wow, brain fart, all the way to the fuel pressure regulator, and then from the fuel pressure regulator from underneath, it's going to return back to our line, which is all the way down there. So I will get to that next, but just wanted to show you guys this. That's what it's looking like. And now we're gonna go and start working on the stuff underneath. So underneath the car, I've already cut this. This used to be a line that went to the top, and this was also the evap line that went all the way to the top, but I've gone ahead and cut all those. This was the feed, the old feed, which now we are turning into the evap. So this guy right here, you're just gonna slide on a hose, 5/8 hose, and it's gonna go onto here, and then it's gonna be connected. Let me show you all the way up to this guy, the evap canister, or yeah, a purge valve. Goes all the way there for them. So from this all the way to here. All right. So that guy is just gonna be slightly bent up afterwards. This one I have it bent this way right now, but I'm gonna bend it back. It's been bent slightly on an angle like that, because that's gonna be our return, and our return is gonna go all the way to the fuel pressure, to underneath the fuel pressure. So that's our return. All right, guys. All right, so where I last left off, we were talking about the return, and I'm going to show you guys how to make a return line, or how to properly install these AN fittings. I've gone ahead and installed the one there. So you go ahead and install one on whatever end you're going to use. Once that one is installed, I installed it on the fuel pressure regulator, and then I mapped out how the length that I'm gonna need, or that I'm gonna require, and I marked it. So you can use a marker to mark it. I used a pink marker. I mean, you can use a Sharpie of different color rather than black. Another way, you use tape to mark your lengths. So once you've marked it, let me show you guys. Just grab some tape. There's the marking. There's the tape. Let me set this up so you guys can see this. All right, we grab the tape, we mark it. You don't need a bunch of time, just once around. Now there's our mark. It's on the center. Center. I usually use the bandsaw to cut it, to cut this hose, but you can use the bandsaw, you can use anything that cuts. Well, you're gonna want to make a clean cut, so actually not anything that cuts. Like if you were to use a shear, it's not going to give it a clean cut. It's going to make it a messy cut. You're going to want to cut kind of like that. That's somewhat of a clean cut. I use the bandsaw on this, and after I use the bandsaw, I usually go with this shear here and I cut the edges off. But I'm going to show you guys how to cut it with one of these and how clean the cut looks. So that's a pretty clean cut. Still got a little edge. We don't need that side. We're going to require to use this side here. So we have to clean up that little bit. So we'll grab the shear. Nice clean cut now. Yeah. Then the AN fitting. You can grab the AN fitting. So for this side here, we're going to use a 45. Oh shit, I left it on the car. Fuck. Just use one of this. So this is a 45 AN-6. So you undo the fitting. In order to install now the AN rear part of the fitting, you're going to want to fit it in there. Nice. Sometimes they don't go in very nicely, so you just have to give it a little force so it's in there. Now you gotta bang it in. Sweet. And it's in there. If you guys can see, make sure that you guys can see. Yeah, it's in there now. It's all the way bottomed out. Can the camera see it? Lighting's pretty poor. So it's bottomed out. I'm using a vice clamp, and it's designed for these AN fittings. If you don't have a vice clamp, not really use it. What you could do, if you want to keep the fittings looking nice, grab a bit of tape, tape the outside of it, and just put it on your clamp jaws. Clamp it if it's got tape. Tape will help protect it, but since I got the vice jaws, I'm going to use the vice jaws. Alright, now you need WD-40 for this, just a little tiny bit on the edge. That's it. Thread it in by hand. Alright, starting to thread in. You thread it in by hand at first to make sure you don't cross thread it. Once that's done, now just grab for a -6, it's a 19 millimeter, or if you don't have a 19 millimeter, you can use a 3/4 wrench. And yeah, you just go away and tighten at it. That's it. Tighten it till it's bottomed out. And done deal. Fittings installed. Grab a blower now, and you blow the ends of the fitting. So any debris that's stuck inside the line from when you were cutting it and when we sprayed a little bit of WD-40 gets all cleared. Spray both ends, blow both ends, one end, second end, and that's it, done. Simple, ready for install. So we're gonna go ahead and install this now on the car, and I'll show you guys afterwards the next step. So I've completed the fuel setup, and this is what it looks like. So we got the fuel pressure regulator mounted there, our fuel rail, we got the feed, we got the return going to the fuel pressure regulator right there, and then from underneath the bottom of the fuel pressure regulator returning to the bottom down there, our return line, which is underneath the vehicle, that returns back to the fuel tank. I'll show you guys what the undercarriage looks like. Bear with me a few minutes. All right, got my light. All right, this is what the undercarriage looks like. Oh shoot, I gotta tighten this guy here. All right. So yeah, this is what the undercarriage is looking like. We got our return from the fuel pressure regulator. This is the evap hose. I never showed you guys what that looks like. And then our feed is right there. I don't know if you can see it. See it? We zip tied it already. Just gonna cut the zip tie. So all that is done. I've installed the fuel filter underneath here in an area where we can service it. It's easy accessible. We zip tied everything, or zip tied the line, and tanks up. Everything's back and assembled. Now we can test the system, make sure there's no leaks. And once that is done, set your fuel pressure regulator to the required pressures and install your rear seat, and then you're done. So that's what we've got left to do, is just installing the rear seat, pressurizing the system, making sure that there's no leaks, and that's it. We'll do that in a few minutes, but before I go and do that, I'll show you guys a quick diagram of the fuel setup. So gas tank, fuel feed to a fuel filter to the fuel rail to the fuel pressure regulator, return line all the way back to the tank. That's what it looks like. That's how you should have it done. This is the diagram. All right, guys. So hopefully this helps with your 7th gen fuel return installs, and that's it. All right, so we started Paul's car, or sorry, Ashley's car. Checked for leaks. The car's running awesome, no leaks. We adjusted our fuel pressure, and this is the car running. And pretty much concludes the video on my part. Let's take a little shot once more of the car. Looks pretty badass. I'm going to pull the car out, and we're done with the car for today. And we're going to bring it back another time to do some more videos. Guys, I'd like to thank Garage 16 for helping out and providing all the parts that we needed for this video. Paul and Ashley for bringing the vehicle and allowing me to work on the car and do everything that needed to be done, all the requirements. If you guys have any questions, need some answers, either comment in the video or send Paul a message. I believe Paul also put my information. If anything, send me a message there too. If you need us to answer any of the questions, check out our Justsenditbrand, guys. Justsenditbrand. Amazing. Shout out to the sponsor, Justsendit. And like I said, Garage 16, he helped out with some of the stuff. Look at that beautiful gauge. Let me just bend that up. Beautiful gauge from Garage 16. Thanks, buddy. And guys, have yourselves a great day. Stay safe. Ciao.
All right, guys. So we're finally going to pick up Ashley's car from Mercer's. Due to everything that's been going on, he doesn't really want people inside the shop, so he recorded a bunch of the footage of him doing the install. So I got the whole family with me. We're all gonna go for a drive. They've been inside the house for a lot of days, so the kids are pretty excited to be getting out of the house, just going for a drive. Ashley's gonna be driving this vehicle back, and I'm gonna be driving the EL back, make sure everything's the way it's supposed to be. So let's head out. Really excited. I wonder how she's gonna move now. So as you guys can see, just letting it idle and warm up right now. So perfect. Perfect. I can't thank Mercer enough. So guys, let me know, did you guys enjoy this video? Everything Kevin explained, was it good? Do you think it will help you? Guys, just let me know in the comments below. Sorry about my voice, a little bit raspy and whatnot, but yeah, finally got it all done. I'm really happy about it. And we're gonna get maybe, well, probably not right now because it's still kind of dark, so you probably won't get some footage of me doing a pull on the highway. Maybe we will. We'll see. Just stick to the very end. All right, just gonna go inside now. I'm gonna clear up the bill with Mercer. Thing seems all right. She's not dipping into the 15s anymore on idle either on the wideband. It's holding in the from I would say 1430s to 1460s, so it's pretty good numbers. Smells very rich. So I'm gonna clear up the bill now with Mercer. All right, guys. So bill's cleared. Thank Mercer for the amazing work that he always does. Notice the big gap, 2 meters. Anyways, guys, he's gonna say goodbye. We're gonna get in the car and do a pull and nice. Hit some VTEC that we haven't hit in the single cam in a long time. So thank you, Mercer.
Peace out, guys.
Till the next one.
Safe drive, and Paul, don't forget, just send it.
Always.
Attaboy.
5 minutes later.
All right, guys. So I gave it a couple pulls. It didn't hesitate or misfire. So it's good. So far, so good. We're about to get on the highway. Just coming up to a red light before we get onto one of Mexico's great highways. As you guys can see, I'm wearing my eyeglasses at nighttime. I'm getting old, need eyeglasses. But the response, everything, the car seems so much better. Right off the bat, you can already tell. And perfect timing. The camera is about to die, so let's hope we can get one pull. Mind you, it's not like the spooniest one. This is just a single cam, nothing great, but not bad. All right, guys, so the camera died, I believe just shortly after we did a little pull with the EL. It actually is a few days later. Closing off the video. It's morning, got my coffee going. So the car runs amazing, pulls harder than it ever did for a single cam. which I'm really impressed, I gotta admit, for an automatic single cam. It moves. Like I said, it is a few days later, and the very next day we had a tiny little issue with the EL. I'll post a picture right over here. And basically, I had a clamp on one of the fuel lines. I guess it backed off and it dropped inside the tank, and caused us to lose fuel pressure when I was on my way to work. And the car just, you know, died on the highway because I had no fuel pressure. It was an easy fix. Got it back to Mercer's with CAA, and we're back on the road. It is very gloomy and ugly outside. It's been raining, so I'm just gonna be closing off the video. Guys, I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you guys got a lot of knowledge on how to do a return and a fuel system on this two-part video. Big thanks to Kevin Mercer, because he's freaking phenomenal. The guy is a genius when it comes to Hondas, pretty much any car. And I'm so fortunate to be friends with him and sponsored by him. And we're good. We're good. The road to turbo and boost is looking very promising. Rick just got me a price at of AM FIC system version 8, so it's a good price. So in the coming weeks, I'm going to be getting it. Probably gonna be a little bit slower now. Companies forcing all of us on self-isolation. Nobody got tested with the COVID. They're just deciding it's in the best interest of us, the workers, to shut down for 2 weeks and see where we go from there. So I got some ideas that I want to do for the channel, so you guys just stay tuned. Also, if you guys are inquiring about stickers, put them somewhere over here. They're still available, just a limited amount left, and then later on I'm going to be making some more. I have some more ideas for merch and everything that's coming, but this whole COVID kind of put a halt to all of this right now. It's good coffee. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So thank you for tuning in. Thank you guys for the continuous support. I think it's gonna make around a year very soon that I started doing this channel. Well, I had this channel, but like I had like little clips of little polls here and there, nothing crazy. But when I actually started committing to doing YouTube, I think our 1 year anniversary is coming up. It was in this very garage where a handsome chubby guy, and I said it, handsome chubby guy was nervous as hell doing his first video. Sometimes I still get like that. But guys, thank you for all the support, and you guys share the channel, please help the channel grow. Share the channel, like, comment, subscribe. I really appreciate it. I got some plans. I got a lot of plans for when this damn virus stuff is over and we can get back to what we do. I got a lot of plans, and you know, in the coming months, if everything goes well, cross fingers, there's gonna be another car added to the channel. It's gonna be a daily, but I'm gonna do stuff to it. I've always wanted to do it, a build, so let's cross our fingers and hope everything goes well, and we'll get to it. So guys, I'm gonna sign out. Mercer already signed out when he finished everything. That being said, guys, visit Garage 16 and Mercer Built, and they'll take care of you. Just tell them Paul Forder sent you. So guys, be safe. Love you guys. Just send it. Peace.